is Janice Cobb of Save My Pet ID Tag. Engraved with your pet's info, they allow emergency personnel to start care for your pets if you're sick or injured. Head over to SaveMyPetIDTag.com and explore products. They ensure peace of mind for you and for your four-legged family.
I say that cats put the C in candid, the A in attitude, the T in tenacious, and sometimes the S in so what? Do you wish you could learn why cats do what they do? Maybe how you can boost your bond with your feline pal? Help us here. That's because our special guest is an amazing cat can-do gal from Nebraska. She is a certified cat behavior consultant and trainer. So everybody, let's give a meobalous welcome to my friend, Allison Hunter Frederick. Welcome, welcome, Allison.
Hi, thank you for having me.
I know you know cat. I know you can tell cat front and back, and you have something kind of cool because you do offer behavior services for folks in your area, Nebraska, but you also have something that can reach people all over the globe. It's called the Cat Crash Course. Are cats going in bumper cars? What is this?
Hey, that would be fun. It is a class that teaches pretty much anything you would want to know about cats on a very basic level.
But that's good.
If you have a new cat, if you have a cat that you've had for a while and you want to understand their body language or their environment, what they need, if you want to know how to play with them, how to get them to the vet, and of course, the all popular how to introduce the cat, one cat to another cat.
That's right. So all things cat. I mean, if you look at statistics, it's a good time to be a cat because they're showing up in more and more households in the country. And I know dogs, there's still more dogs in homes, I think, but it's getting close. But I think the number one pet in a household is the things that float around in a fish tank. But what do you think about cats and what's happening in 2024 versus maybe 10, 20 years ago? Are things getting better for us, our kitties?
I think a lot more people understand what cats need and how to work with cats. A lot of the clients that I get, they don't come to me. When they come to me, it's not that they don't know anything. It's they've tried a ton of things, and a lot of those things have been good. And then I'm just kind of building on that knowledge. So there's a lot of people out there who are very educated about cats.
But they are a pretty complex species, right?
Yes. Yeah. And we still have a long way to go there. I still will get people who don't know very much about cats, or they don't know how to effectively handle a cat's needs. But I think we have come a long way.
So, for example, how do you answer someone who thinks that cats are just small dogs? So can you give us a few examples that make cats and not small dogs? What makes them unique? What's a few things?
Well, cats, they still have a lot more of their outdoor roots than our dogs do.
Okay.
Dogs are a lot more domesticated than cats are, so they still have a much stronger hunting instinct.
You mean there's a lion in your living room?
Yes, there is. When they're playing, and that's why one of my things I talk about in my course is effective play. When they're playing, there's a certain way to play with them to bring out that hunting mode. And then that means that they get to kind of act as if they're catching their prey, and that makes them feel more like a cat. And then I was
going to say, you want a contented cat, right? Because what happens when a cat is bored? I mean, they're not hairy pieces of furniture, for goodness sakes.
No, and a bored cat can, at the very least, just going to sleep all day, which isn't healthy for it. But it also, a bored cat can get sick because they're stressed from not having anything to do. They can get restless and kind of agitated, and then you can start getting some maybe undesirable behaviors acting out because they're bored and they want something to do.
What's some undesirable behaviors? Give me an example.
Nipping, swatting. The classic signs to me of a cat that isn't getting played with enough, or is else just an extremely high energy cat that needs a ton of play, is that cat that comes and swipes at your ankles or swipes at your hands.
It's a cry for help, isn't it? It's a cry for, let me get to do something, right?
Yeah, well, and everything they do is communicating to us what they need. We just don't always know what that means. Their cry for help means, we have to both kind of, cats have to figure us out, but we have to figure them out, and we have to be able to help meet their needs, because otherwise they're not going to do very well in our homes, and that's not fair. We brought them into our homes, and we want them to be.
Yeah.
I think, well, to go back to your earlier question of how things have changed, I think there's a lot more people who want to have that bond with the cat and recognize there's a ton of things they can do with their cat. It's snuggling and playing, but some people also train them. People take them on adventures. I mean, they know there's a lot to having a cat. A cat is just not that thing that sleeps in your living room.
That's right. That's right. And you have a cat, Rainy, who works as a therapy pet, correct?
Yes. And that actually, one of the reasons we do that is because when she was young, she needed an outlet for all of her energy. And we do a variety of things. And one of those things ended up being cat therapy.
I think are you with Love on a Leash?
Yes.
Okay, my cat, Casey, is also with Love on a Leash. And I like that you're also seeing more professional pet therapy groups. They seem like they've always had dogs and maybe that mini horse or two. But I'm happy to see that numbers are slowly getting better, rising for cats as therapy pets. And I mean, do you think the special attributes that Rainy brings as a therapy cat, and where does Rainy do therapy visits?
Oh, well, Rainy is outgoing and friendly and also very trainable. And she's not easily startled by things. So all of those things means that I can take her places and take her to visit people, and she enjoys that. And
what's some of the places you go?
So we go right now to retirement center and also twice a year to the library to do Read to a Pet program.
Oh, does she read? No.
Rainy is really smart. You never know what she's doing when I'm not around.
And I mean, I have a therapy dog and a therapy cat, and I say they both bring different things to the table. What is it like when people see Rainy come in? Does she wear a harness and a leash, or how does she come in?
Yeah, Love on a Leash, and I believe pet partners too. She has to be on that harness and leash for her. That's part of being a therapy pet. We usually will come in the stroller, and then when she goes into a room to visit, she'll come out and she's on the harness and leash, and we'll walk her. She'll walk around.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. We're speaking with Allison Hunter Frederick. She lives in Nebraska. We're going to find out details more, but she does know cats, and she is an advocate for cats. And she has a new course that we're going to find out more about called Cat Crash. And I love it because we all can learn more. Knowledge is power. And so we're going to find out more about the world of felines through this certified cat behavior consultant and trainer, Allison Hunter Frederick, after we take this break. And the drill, everybody, sit, purr. We'll be right back.
Hey, have you heard? Four-Legged Life has a new digital newsletter. Here, let me show you how you get yourself subscribed. So you just type in Four-Legged Life, and that'll take you to the website. There we go. And this magic thing just appears, and you type in your email address. I'll use, let's see, how about coolestdogever@gmail.com. That's me. And then you just click on this thing here. There you go. It's the new digital newsletter from Four-Legged Life. Get subscribed today.
Hey, Pet Pals. Welcome back to Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life Show. I'm your host, Arden Moore. We're speaking with Allison Hunter Frederick from Nebraska. She is a certified cat behavior consultant and trainer. She has a cool cat named Rainy that brings a lot of feline goodwill ambassadorship as a therapy cat. And she can't get from one place to the other all over the world quickly. She can't twinkle her nose and just time travel. So she came up with an idea. Why don't we share some cat knowledge with people all over thanks to the internet? And this is where you came up with a cat crash course. So Allison, tell people how can they get their paws on it and give us a teaser about something that they might learn.
If people go to my website, Allison Helps Cats, and then they go to the services tab, and then underneath the services tab, there is a pull down called current classes, and they can go register there.
It's pretty new, right, Allison, this cat crash course? I like the name. What made you come up with that?
Well, it's something where it's just, you're getting a lot of quick information about a lot of topics. So it's not an in-depth class.
Is it self-paced or do you teach it?
No, it is. It's the last Saturday of every month, and it is live in the sense that I am online via Zoom. I present the information. If someone were to attend every month, they would see a slightly different version simply because I present it every month.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I allow time for Q&A.
And how long does each time does a class meet? You said the last Saturday. How long does it is the class?
It's for an hour.
Oh, cool. Okay. Handle an hour.
Yeah, and the thing is that if I get a few people, sometimes we do the Q&A kind of in between modules, and if I get a lot of people, the Q&A is at the end. It actually can run a little bit longer than the hour because I have a really hard time of that if people want to do a Q&A and we're doing questions 20 minutes after the time. It's like, if you want to stay, I'll answer your questions.
And it's free.
It is free.
Did you secretly win the lotto? This is your give back?
This is my give back, and I volunteer at our local Animal Humane Society.
Well, say the name. Shout it out.
Capital Humane Society. And I do post-adoption support for them. And one of the ways to do post-adoption support is you can offer education. And so I decided to offer this. And I had done some paid classes, and I was kind of getting feedback that when a person spends this much money to adopt, and then the next thing they're going to do is spend this much money to take a class, not everybody's going to have that kind of money. And so I wanted people to be able to get instant information without worrying about the cost. So I came up with this class, and also I used to do classes that were actually at the Humane Society. And again, some people can't commit to that, but committing to 1 hour once in a month,
I think it's easy.
It's much easier to commit to that. So person can hop online, listen to me talk, ask questions should they have it. And it's
I have a question.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Arden. What is your question? All right.
Arden, what is your question?
You have different areas. So what is a tip or two you can share now on how to create a healthy home indoors for a cat? What's one or two tips?
Have lots of high spaces and have lots of low spaces. And by high and low spaces, I don't mean your countertops and under your furniture. Okay. I mean, have a cat tower that has high spaces. And it also has multiple spaces where the cats can be kind of near each other, but they don't have to share the same space.
Okay.
High spaces could also be like a window ledge. And low spaces, even if you can't afford much, get a box and turn it on its side. But if you can afford something a little more, get a cat nook from the store, but get things that are actually designated for them. And also make sure there's, so like with a cat tower, it comes built in with more than one place that they can
I know.
have.
I've put them several together over the years.
But with other things, like if you have a nook or if you have a scratching post or you have a ledge, maybe there's just one. So I would suggest getting more than one, because sometimes I will see a cat wants to use this particular resource, but there's only one of it. And so then this cat uses it and the other cat wants to use it too. And then all of a sudden you have these little bit of squabbling going on.
You need to have an ample occurrence for cats, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hosting the show right now in our backyard office called Ard's Den. It's 200 square feet. I have a window perch. I have 2 cat beds on tables, and I have a corner hutch, and on top of the hutch is a cat bed. And usually only Pet Safety Cat Casey and sometimes Rusty the Performer are in this office. But I have 1, 2, 3, 4 off the floor. Did I do all right, teacher?
Yes.
That's
well,
cool.
you also just watch where they're going. If everybody wants that same space, then that's especially where you're going to need to have that coveted space by the window that has the sun coming in. You probably need to make sure that there's space for 2 cats to be, but not have to be bumped right up against each other if they don't want to be.
Okay. I like to play. My dogs like to play, and I know cats like to play. So what's a couple tips on effective enriching play you can share with us, Allison?
Oh, well, I have a variety of type of toys. You can get toys that they're shaped like snakes or toys that are shaped like birds. You can get toys that make the sounds like the prey.
Oh, yeah. I hear them at 3 a.m. Yes.
Well, and you should have toys that are both for you interacting with and toys that are for them to play with by themselves. So you interacting with wand toys are great. And you can get a variety of wand toys, and you can have them high, you can have them low, do different type of motions, do it fast, do it slow.
Oh, because that mimics the way a mouse or other prey would be, right?
Yes, and thank you. I should have started this by saying it's better to have things that are like prey and to make it seem like they're chasing after their prey. And then for something by themselves, my favorite thing, especially as cats get older, is to have something. I hear different names for it, so I call it a 4-H box. But it's basically, people are familiar with puzzle feeders. You put the treats in, but you can get something that's a 4-H box where it's more designed for putting toys in. So all those little balls and mice when they get older, they get bored of. Put them in your 4-H box, or you can also call it puzzle toy, whatever the name is you want to call it. Put it in, and then they have to dig the toy out. And so it makes those toys become new and more and exciting. And my 11-year-old cat, who when she was probably 8 and kind of stopped playing, even younger, stopped playing with those toys when we got the 4-H box. Yeah. She stopped playing a long time ago, but then when she was about 8, she got the 4-H box. And so then,
What's
she
her name?
Plays with it all the time. Cinder.
Cinder. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. You can teach an old cat new tricks. Is that what you're saying?
Or make those new tricks, those old tricks seem like they're new or redone, revised. Yeah.
I love it. I'm so happy that you're teaching a cat crash course. I think knowledge is power. And the more we can understand about cats, the better the planet is for all of us. Is there 1 or 2 things that cats have, that you feel that cats have done to you that make you a better human? Allison Hunter Frederick, what's something cats do for you?
Well, they love me. That's one thing.
And your husband loves you.
Yes, but them snuggling into me, Cinder, when she's in a weird mood, will kind of come up and just kind of be behind here, snuggling into me, that kind of thing. I mean, just having animals that love you, make you better. But also, at least for me, as a cat behavior consultant, watching their behavior and seeing how they interact with each other, how they interact with me, how they interact with the world, what they need, what helps solve the behavior issues they have. All those kind of things, it's part of my caring for them, and that makes me a better person. I learned so much more about this very complicated species and what they need, and I love being able to do that, and I think that makes me a better person because I'm blanking.
It does make you a better person. That's it. You don't have to go on. I like that. Hey, everyone. We're speaking with Allison Hunter Frederick, there's a hyphen in there. Go to Allison Helps Cats. You'll check out what she's up to. She does offer some behavior services for people in the Nebraska area, but she does offer this free class, Cat Crash Course. It's an hour and the last Saturday of every month. Check it out. And you can get your cat questions to her. On behalf of Pet Safety Cat Casey, I do give you a big paws up, Allison, because you are a cat advocate and we need more Allisons in the world. So I hope you enjoyed being on the show.
Thank you for having me. And yes, I always enjoy being on the show with you.
Thanks so much for making our tails wag by watching this guest interview from Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life. Make sure to subscribe so you're up to date with all of our Four-Legged Life content.